Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and here is another tier list and another review of WWE PLE. We just had Clash at the Castle yesterday. Well, yeah, it'll be yesterday by the time this video's up. And overall, I feel like some of it was like you felt like you knew exactly what was going to happen, and to me, even I was 3-2 on my predictions, so I was a little off, but there was a lot that I thought could have been either way, and we'll go over that as we go, over the matches. I think we just jump right into it because it's the the first match with AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I think it was everything we wanted. It was going to be an I Quit match, so we knew that it was going to be kind of just one of those like tedious matches where we're going to have a lot of just crazy spots of like doing damage. Cody Rhodes' mom got involved with it. I think overall the wrestling between the two is really good, and that spot where AJ Styles is going to do a phenomenal forearm to him with the chain, and he throws that chair and he lands on the table is the chef's kiss. Like, I could watch that a million times. That was one of the best scenes that I've ever fought in wrestling because it's comical and badass at the same time. Overall, I think to me, I don't know if it's much of a spoiler, but to me, I thought it was my favorite match of the night. So I'm putting it in S tier. I just feel like it really built on to like their match from Backlash too. I think the I Quit stipulation could sometimes be really stupid, but I think overall it worked out really good in this. The only part I didn't like is that like AJ Styles like technically would have won the regular match because he like knocked out Cody Rhodes. I feel like they could have skipped that part. I think that made Cody look a little weak. But overall, I think overall the match was good. And then the very end of it with the Bloodline attacking Cody and then getting saved by Kevin and Randy. And Randy kind of looking at the title. I think that set up a lot of what the summer is going to be about. And I think overall this match was exactly what was needed. It was crazy that we got that as the first match, but I think it was perfect because it set the tone for the PLE, and then immediately the tone just completely changed up because the next up we had the triple threat tag match. Overall, just looking at it on paper, I slept on this match of being like, when I did my predictions, I voted for pretty much all of the Scottish people to lose. This one should have been the one that I chose on because the triple threat gave it an opportunity for Isla Dawn and Elba Fire to get in there, and they looked really good. I've always liked them too, like the two witches or was it the Unholy Coven or Unholy Union? Yeah, Unholy Union. I've always liked them, but they just never get a lot of screen time, and I feel like hopefully now they will. But again, I just feel like. In this tag match they were like highlighted pretty well, but not enough that they looked like they were going to be like the clear cut winners. But Shayna and Zoe did phenomenal, just kind of be in there and do some good stuff. We kind of know like they were going to eat the pin no matter what. And then Jade and Bianca looked good. Jade had a couple miscues, and I think maybe even at the very end with her getting the roll up to try to win it, and then her kind of get pushed off, and then Bianca trying to get into the ring, but Jade was in the way. Like that's some type of storytelling later because I think inevitably that is what's going to happen is Jade and Bianca. I wouldn't be surprised if they get the titles back sooner than later. I do hope that we get a pretty good run with the witches here, but I feel like they're not going to be a super team, so I think there'll be other teams that could actually get in there and maybe change it up a little bit. So they are the first titles to change. For a while now, and the only ones from this PLE. So I feel like it was needed. We kind of needed to see something happen, but overall, I think the match was a B for me. I liked it. I was watching it. Just didn't really feel anything like either way. It was a good match. Solid spots, a couple botches here and there, but overall, I think it was pretty solid. It definitely needed the triple threat speculation on it because I think that really added to helping out everybody look a lot better. And I think I'd like to see it again. I'd like to at least see Bianca and Jade try to stay together, and hopefully they can build that storyline out a little bit more. Next up, we have Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable for the IC title. I don't know why I'm hiccuping, but this, honestly, out of all of their matches, was probably their worst. And it felt like a very carbon copy of the match that they just had on SmackDown, or not SmackDown, Raw a couple weeks ago. Or at least, what was it, the first or second time that they wrestled, or like they had just a regular match? It was just like, I don't know. Like, we know we're going to have the outside stuff with Otis and Maxine, and I feel like it's definitely pushing Gable over to a this like high level where he's going to be this insane heel, and if this doesn't lead to them with like Chad Gable getting the Diamond Mind or the Creed brothers and like turning them heel and like going as a really crazy good faction, I I don't know how else this works because it's like he should have got the title. It really shouldn't have been this one. Like this match, I definitely don't think I felt fine with Sammy winning. It was the matches before where I really feel like Chad should have had it, but I don't feel like you give him another shot. Like how do you give him another shot after all of this? It's just kind of crazy, and I feel like that is the kind of place we stand here. The match itself was okay. I mean, I felt like the outside stuff kind of like just made it lacking. I feel like we didn't even get to see Chad Gable do Chad Gable things. Like he kind of felt very limited because he was just kind of doing outside stuff, and I think that just kind of wasn't good. Like I just felt like this match is a C. I thought they went out there and did work. It's a decent match when you think about it. Like a C on a premium live event is still really crazy, but like I probably would never watch that match. It's definitely the weakest of all their matches, the weakest of all of Sammy's intercontinental defenses. So I feel like C is probably a safe spot to put it there. Next up, we have Bailey versus Piper Niven. I feel like the match itself started off kind of slow. I feel like they were kind of having a little bit of like cadence issues or something. I feel like they were kind of not on the same page. The couple spots with Chelsea Green were really good with her getting kicked out and then coming back with the mask. I feel like there was some stuff, and I think there was like some real danger there. It felt like where Bailey could lose the championship, but overall, I feel like the three middle matches were just kind of like this kind of lull, and I kind of feel like that's kind of what brought Clash of the Castle down compared to the other two premium live events so far this year. Like I say, like this year, I count them like everything else of WrestleMania is like the start. So we had Backlash, and we had King of Cream the Ring, and I feel like this one definitely suffered with the middle of the card. I feel like the Cody Rhodes match and AJ Styles match was like almost like too good. Like if it went on fourth or even last, I think it would have been a lot better. But because it went on first, we were kind of like I at least personally was thinking a very high octane premium live event, and it kind of just dribbled on. But like when we go back to the Bailey match, I think Bailey did really good, and I think Piper showed off really good stuff. So I think like it's definitely gonna be good for Piper to really get a good push after this, hopefully to actually kind of be a monster in that division. And I think she could definitely show off that, and she showed that she had some good mic skills in the road leading up to this. I think Bailey's title defense is the best way to sum it up is just how like even the WWE treats it. Like they acknowledge that Bailey's the champion and all that, but they just don't give her like necessarily the thing. She's not on the poster, she's not doing certain stuff like that. And I feel like with all that missing, kind of like makes these matches less hyped because I mean you see a lot more with Liv and then how Rhea had the title and even Becky small time with the heavyweight title, but it feels like the WWE Championship is just kind of sitting there, and I think Bailey is the champion for it. I just think they're not letting Bailey beat Bailey. But overall, it was a B match. I feel like it was slightly better than the tag match, but mainly because I think the tag match had a couple miscues, and that's what made this match better. And last but not certainly least, it is Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's entrance was great. I think like they really set it up to be in a pretty solid match. We had that really nasty botch by not botch, but just slip up by Damian Priest. I thought his leg was going to be like snapped or something, and I hope he's not actually hurt. I feel like there was a big storyline with Damian Priest that if he's hurt, that's gonna kind of ruin a huge section. I mean, obviously you don't want the man to be hurt anyways, but just for the story too, it's gonna be crazy if they have to pivot from that. But when CM Punk came up there with the 2 count and he came down there as the referee, that was amazing. Like instantly he slid in there and I saw him going and I was like, wait, that's CM Punk. I could tell by the beard, and I just started like screaming it at the top of my lungs about like, oh my god. And like it was good. That spot was amazing. Overall, the match between the two, I think Drew was an absolute beast. Obviously, like I picked Priest to win. I figured Priest would win, but when you're watching it there, if I was just picking hard right there, I wanted Drew to win so badly. But we know that he's destined for bigger rivalries and destined for like just that spotlight with him and Punk. So there was no needed for this championship to be won by him. But man, did he go out there and kick butt. I think overall, the match was just really good. There was a lot of good spots in it. I still feel like the Cody and AJ Styles match was my favorite of the card. I think this one was a pretty solid one. It still deserved the main event because Drew's, being like his homeland and stuff. I feel like that really amped it up for everything. And Damian won relatively clean without like CM Punk messing around, but like it was a ref interference with him getting knocked out, which we can't really put much on. So like I feel like it's still pretty clean compared to some of the stuff that can happen. Like no shenanigans side until the CM Punk fade, but there was no ref to come there. So even if CM Punk didn't come down, no ref would have showed up, and it still would have been the same results, except for the nut kick. So I guess it's not as clean, but it definitely felt like a pretty decent title defense by Damien. I feel like Money in the Bank, they should give Damien somebody where he can just like beat them clean and go on from that. I think that would help cement his championship a lot better. But overall, yeah, a match. I think overall the pay per view is probably like a B or a C. Um, Not my favorite out of the three that was here. I wasn't a huge fan of King of Queen of the Ring, but I feel like that pay per view was a little bit edged over here. I don't remember exactly my ratings, but I feel like it should be just a little bit above this, and I don't think it came near Backlash. So tell me what you guys think. Tell me what your guys' favorite match or least favorite match, and if you guys are excited for Money in the Bank. I have a couple Money in the Bank videos up here, and don't forget to like the video so the algorithm will like me and then put this everywhere. So yeah, bye guys.